Hey everyone, I'm Brett. I'm here with the wine man himself, Bjorn. We are Bev Live, and tonight we'll be your host for this week's live stream. I think we can drink to that, right? So Bjorn,
Bullshit.
man, with this, yeah, right.
I'm the
Let me
boring
hold
one
on.
here.
Okay, so Bjorn, I'm drinking this wine right here. It's a rather jammy, sort of very fruit forward Pinot Noir. Kind of one of my go-to styles. And when I picked up that particular bottle, I was kind of in a hurry, making dinner one night. I needed something a little different than the usual. What I do, I read the label. I'm going through it. I'm trying to figure it out. I actually asked the person at the store for some assistance. They were very knowledgeable. I was kind of pleased about that. And then actually went home before I even opened it. I'm reading the reviews and stuff online too. I don't know anybody close that's a big wine, fanatic than maybe yourself. But if if you're in that situation, I could read all these expert reviews. I could drink it. I could talk to my friends about it, whatever I want to do. But it's so hard to know who to trust, right? There's just so much information out there these days. Is it word of mouth? Do you trust the experts? Do you trust your friend or your best friend's cousin down the street? What do you do?
I think that's a really, really good question. I mean, I get text message from people like asking, like, hey, who should I ask? Probably you asking me.
Right.
But it depends. I mean, if you're really, really into wine, I think it's not a bad idea to find a publication that reviews wines and helps you out that way. The thing though is that you got to find a publication that makes sense for you. In many ways you just got like the reviewer, you got to align kind of with the tasting profile that this reviewer kind of likes. So that would be one if you're really, really into wine. I think most people, though, I think in many ways it's friends and family and people that they know. Like you said, like sending a text message to a friend like, "Hey, I'm cooking some, I'm having steak tonight or something. Throwing something on the grill. What should I get? Or I'm making some steamed vegetables. What should I have?" And I think more and more. People are trying to just in general friends. So I think both are important, and you just got to find, what makes sense for you. If all your friends like wines you don't like, you probably don't want to ask them.
Yeah, right.
Chances are that's not going to go over so well. But that's like just the general things. Find people that align with what you like, and same applies to stores or online stores like Bev Live. Asking people there, or if you are in a situation, asking people there, but you may prefer some stores over others because you align more with the buyer's preferences of other stores.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit the nail right on the head there. Where the people that we trust the most generally are our close family, our friends, people that we interact with on a daily basis. But what if I wanted to find that kind of hidden gem, that diamond in the rough of a wine that's not so well known? Is that when it's a better time to ask the experts?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the experts, like, they go out and they taste, like, your friends may have tasted 15 wines last year, 20 wines, whatever. Some
And they probably can't remember them all.
Yeah, well, and while the wine experts have had literally thousands. And so chances are they're going to find that hidden gem. Just like looking at statistics, it's going to be a whole lot higher. Finding that special something that nobody talks about. So that's, yeah, for sure. If you want to have something really, really special, your friends may know like some of the major brands or something, but they may not know that wine that is pretty much the same price point.
Right.
But it's just something special. And that's kind of like how I think Bev Life kind of is special, because most of the wines here you're just not going to find everywhere else. And it's kind of like the curation of Bev Life. It's many wines that you're just not going to find everywhere. Ask us. Go on Bev Life, check us out, and just ask us.
If bevlive.com, we've got the contact form there, or we've got a BevBot. Hey, BevBot, throw me a bone. What does this taste like? Right there at bevlive.com on the main page, or Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you follow your socials, we're there too. So feel free to drop us a line. And since we're talking about that, people trusting their friends and family and everything. Right now, I feel like we're entering the season of travel, right? So it's spring break just ended here for us in our school systems, but for many, it's happening now, or it'll happen next month, and it feels like before you know it, you're heading into summer, planning those trips, hitting the road, going to the beach, or visiting grandparents, whatever you want to do. But speaking of traveling, and on that train of thought, wine tourism, that's something that I thought a lot about. I have not had a chance to do it, but is that something do people really do that? They will schedule a vacation around going only to drink wine and solely drink wine?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like if you just look at our major areas that we have in the US, like going to Napa or Sonoma, specifically those, that's what you do there. And I mean, there's a very good reason why there's some amazing restaurants in Napa. It's called, it's because people go travel there to try the wines, and then they want to eat out and go to those restaurants, and then there's some amazing hotels there. I mean, if you really really like wine, if you really like really good wine, I think it could be a lot of fun. I mean, it's also nature. It's not that it's concrete next to concrete next to concrete. It's nature, and so who doesn't like to go out in nature, right? So for people who go there, they have everything they wish for. They're outside, they're enjoying the fresh air, they're in nature, they drink great wine, they eat great food. Some people may go jogging. I mean, whatever you want to do. I think it's a pretty fun. It's a pretty fun thing to do.
Yeah, and I think that should be our next on location, or maybe our first on location live stream is Napa Valley, California, at
There you
your
go.
choice of winery and restaurant or whatever. I love that about. I mean, me, Bjorn. I'm a big foodie, and I love finding kind of those places that it's not LA. It's not everything is up there right around the corner. You could throw a rock and hit 17 different ethnicities of cuisines. So I really love going to those places just out in nature. Some parts probably feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, I'm sure, but yet you can find those great, upscale restaurants, some just world-class chefs. I'm sure hotels that even have cooking classes. So I'm all for it if you are.
Sounds like a plan to me. Let's go.
All right. And you were talking about regions, and I think okay, West Coast here. So what, California, Oregon, Washington for sure are big wine areas. But with regions, you got to think about varietals. We can't not talk about that. And so what's your take on, varietals? And you can have the same varietal, right? But in different regions. And I would presume that would change the taste of the wine dramatically. Well, what is your thoughts on that?
Well, I think a lot of people may be confusing appellations or regions matter.
Yeah,
And
Appellation, what is that?
appellation, Napa. Napa is an appellation.
Okay.
Sonoma is an appellation. It's a viticultural area that in every country there are certain government agencies that define certain areas, and they only give them the right to carry a certain appellation if there's something about that area that makes them special compared to everything else. Okay. And that's why, like here we have, like in California, you got you got Paso Robles, you have Sonoma, you have Napa. I mean, there's all kinds of appellations in wine country, and you have that across the world. And sometimes people get a little bit confused because you have appellations and you have grape varietals. Grape varietals are like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Pinot Noir, Riesling, Chardonnay, and so on. And then you got the areas. The interesting thing is that since it makes it special, since legally they get this legal term, this legal area from the government, they have to be special about something. Something has to make them special. And often certain varietals in that area do better than in other areas. So that's why Cabernet Sauvignon, for example, in Napa is just like is like the varietal. That's what people think about. Right. Or if you go to Barossa in Australia, it's Shiraz. If you go to Burgundy,
Yeah.
it's Pinot Noir. If you go to certain in many parts of Germany, like many appellations it's Riesling. So most appellations have some kind of situation, may it be like the soil, maybe the climate, that makes that area special for certain varietals.
Okay, so that's hey, that's more than I ever thought I would learn today. That's for sure. And that's great. That's what I love about wine too. It's so educational. You learn a lot of history. You learn a lot about countries. A lot of you're talking about appellation. Is that the kind of? I'm assuming that's what makes like champagne can only come from Champagne, France, or something like that, right? There's
Yeah,
special designations.
And the thing too is that certain appellations sometimes only allow certain varietals.
Mm.
Like in Champagne, there's only certain varietals that can go into sparkling wine made in the Champagne.
Oh.
And so like same with Bordeaux, you have certain varietals that can only not only be made, but it have to be grown in Bordeaux. So there are a lot of guidelines that dictate what you can do in a certain area, because they want to ensure that it stays special and special for a specific reason.
Yeah.
And like I said, same with like Burgundy is a good example. Burgundy, like is Pinot Noir country, so most wines that you would find are Pinot Noir or Beaujolais for that matter, or Gamay, not Beaujolais, but Gamay, the Gamay grape. But yeah, I'm going to way too much detail here. So,
Hey, that's okay.
get excited.
That's why I asked, because I don't know. That's for sure. But yeah. Well, Bjorn, I appreciate your time this evening, and I appreciate our viewers for tuning in as always. And I hope, like we said, don't be scared to reach out. We're always available. We'll let you know if you're not sure about a wine, or even the simplest thing. What do I pair with my Domino's pizza tonight? We don't care. We'll make it fun. And but yeah, I think that was a very informative point you brought up there. About the varietals versus appellations. I don't think I've ever heard that appellation word as a word in wine anyway. So it's but again, wine, in my opinion, it's about discovering and those new tastes and new experiences and bringing people together, and that's the spirit of Bev Live.
Yep, 100%.
All right. Well, on that note, Bjorn, salute, my friend.
All right, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.